I'm Ryan Benson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
I'm Dylan Bowden.
We're the PopCulturists and we just went and saw Kong, Skull Island. Hence the mask. It's really hard to breathe in that thing, isn't it?
Yep. Far out.
Dylan, as always when we do movies, tell us what's going on in Kong, Skull Island.
So, Kong, Skull Island, is the 8th installment in the King Kong movie franchise.
Jesus Christ.
Started way back in 1933. This is like a reboot version. It stars Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, John C. Reilly, Samuel L. Jackson, and...
John Goodman.
John Slimman.
John Slimman. And essentially, John Goodman is working for a company called Monarch, who believes that there's monsters and creatures out in the world. It's set in 1973, as the Vietnam War is coming to a close, and a group of explorers and military personnel travel to this mysterious island hidden into the storm cloud that they found on newest technology of satellite mapping, and they believe that there's resources that they can use, but they're actually there to
under the guise of
some
a
monsters.
geographical excursion.
Yeah, as you do. And there's a little someone on the island. He's not really little. He's quite big.
Josh.
His name's
Hey,
Kong.
go.
And
That's the
as
gist
Josh
of it.
likes, chaos ensues.
What do you mean as I like?
You didn't like that on the Logan review, so I thought I'd bring it up again.
Chaos did ensue,
Chaos
actually.
ensued. So, Josh, I'll leave you dumbfounded for a second. Ryan, what did you think of
Just a quick
Kong, just
thoughts?
overall?
Yeah, look, it's what I expected, I guess. I sort of wanted a dumb, sort of action-y movie. And I pretty much got that. I got to see King Kong fight a bunch of things. Saw some flames, saw some explosions. It was alright. Oh, it was on my list of most anticipated movies. It was alright.
Josh?
That was alright.
Whoa.
I mean, there were definitely some cool scenes in there. Some cool fights and some cool stuff happening. Some unique creatures, but there was no real substance, I thought.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd
I'm
agree with
saying.
that
I'll
too.
get into it more later when we actually start discussing it, but that's my gist of it.
And your thoughts, Dylan?
I went apeshit for this movie. It's like absolutely bananas. It was amazing. I thought this movie was so much fun. It was inconceivable how great it was.
Are you just playing on all those words to throw us off, or is that actually what you
No, I thought it was great fun. Like, it is a dumb action movie, but it's a high quality budget. Special effects are incredible. The cinematography is incredible.
Sorry, one of my beard hairs on your hand.
I think it's monkey hair from the mask. But I'll go
that
with
explains
beard
it.
hair.
I thought I was molting.
My beard!
But yeah, the special effects were incredible. We can go into it a little bit in our likes and things like that. But the cinematography was gorgeous, beautiful shots.
See,
It's amazing.
we'll jump into it. So that's where my biggest... I'm using it as a nitpick, but at the same time, I really shouldn't. I really felt that someone sat down and said, hey, we're going to make a King Kong movie. Like, okay, I have these 15 shots lined up in my head. I want him to do this. I want him to do this. I want him to do this. Now, can you, like, fluff out a script around these 15 shots? Because, like, when those shots happen, I'm like,
Damn.
like, that shot was pretty good, but you can clearly tell when they're like, insert cool shot here.
Money shots.
I was like, okay, we want him, like, you know in like Apocalypse Now, right, when they have the helicopters coming in, like, over the sunset? Yeah, can we put a gorilla in that? And it's like, okay. And sure enough, like, opening, like, all the helicopters, I'm like, bet you're going to do an Apocalypse Now shot. Sunset. Like,
Even the posters, like the parody of Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
Helicopters.
Well, speaking of let's put a gorilla in there on the horizon, I actually feel like King Kong was a little too big.
Oh.
Too big. I feel like they scaled him up because now he's in the Kaiju universe with Godzilla and stuff.
Yeah,
I
so
feel like
there's the second
yeah.
in the multi-monsterverse.
yeah, so you got Godzilla.
multi-monster, that's a cool name for it.
Multi-monsterverse. The
I think it's
Monsterverse.
Monsterverse.
So you got Godzilla and King Kong, and I feel like they've scaled him up so he can match with Godzilla in some
Well,
way.
they did say he's even growing as well, so he's probably
Yeah.
a
So
bit bigger.
he's it's hinted in the film that he's actually young. In the
It's
grand
hinted in the movie that he's a he, no monkey weenus,
Yeah, no dick.
could be a she. She
Well,
Kong.
that's the thing. Like, he's the last of the Kongs. His parents are passed away.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're just not breeding. Like, maybe they're using contraceptive, or maybe using condoms on the island. I don't know.
Is that why you were late to get here? Were you just thinking of all this shit?
He's like,
No, but yeah, no, I
he's
feel
like,
like-
I was up all night last night, just writing down.
Because, okay,
Uncontrollable.
let me put it in perspective, right? Okay, so you've got the island,
Yes, Skull Island.
and you've got Kong, who's huge, and
Yes.
they've got 3 days to get from. They get dropped off at the south part of the southeast part of the island.
Let's get to the west.
And they need to
North.
go to the west and then to the north, and they actually managed to do that in 3 days, which says to me the island's not actually that large.
No, it's only small islands with big things on it.
Then where the fuck was Kong the whole time?
He's in his cave that he
He
hides
didn't
up
have a
in.
cave.
He did. He's
But I like it.
It was
so
a cliff edge.
it's like these. It's like all these big buildings. He's the big mountains. He's like, the mountains aren't that big. She's like, oh, no, looks over here.
You see his butt sticking. That's what I mean. Yeah, like
I just need
in
some alone
terms
time.
in terms of scale to Kong to island to people,
Yeah.
I feel like he should have always been like around. You'd hear him, you'd see him.
Yeah.
You know, he
Yeah.
always should be somewhere.
And it was pretty much like vast open fields,
Yeah.
and then the occasional big monster. Like there was nothing, no deep jungles where there's constant monsters. It was just like there's one monster here, go 100 meters, there'll be a monster
There's a
here.
different
and
monster,
go
because the settings
kilometre
change.
away.
Yeah.
But the island
Monster here.
structure also is thrown off when they fly in initially. It's a bunch of smaller islands. You never actually see a big island,
Yeah.
but they somehow manage to trek across this big island.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another thing on what I was saying with like scope and scale and geographical scenery, when they fly, they have to fly in through this big storm.
So,
Yes.
so they essentially mention the way that no one's ever found this island before. It's surrounded by this constant storm. It's
Huge
it's
storm,
massive.
red lightning and stuff. And as they come out of the storm, the island's there.
Yeah.
Like you come out of the storm, the island's there. There's no like a kilometre gap between the storm and the island. It's there as soon as you get through the storm, there's the island. But then every other shot for the entire movie, anytime you're looking off the island, there's no storm.
Yeah, there's no storm
There's a
around.
sun.
Where the fuck did it go?
Yeah, like there's a cool sun spot. Like, there's an
Actually, yeah, exactly.
There's an opening in the storm where
Because-
the big sun can just come through for that one shot.
Because that
It's-
scene-
The storm goes down.
The scene you said where Kong stands up and there's the sun's behind him and the copters are there.
Yeah.
Where's the storm
Couldn't
then?
they have just like, hang on, there's a big gap in the storm on the other side.
Yeah.
I think that was in the screaming and yelling they mentioned that. Like, where's the storm going? Ah!
They killed him off because he questioned the plot.
Yeah, exactly. So, what did you think of the performances? Before we go all-out spoilers with Kong's
Yeah.
Smackdowns, what did you think of the actors in the story?
Okay, I was saying to Ryan, but just before you got here, that there was no substance. The performances were good, but there was nothing meaningful happening to make me really give a shit. Except for John C. Reilly. He's the one exception. You know, when he rocked up, I was like, you know, just from his performance alone, like I'm like, this movie's picked up a bit because of the energy and the authenticity that he brings every time he's on camera.
Yeah, he's
and I thought everyone else, even from Brie Larson, Tom Hiddleston, and Samuel L. Jackson, is that
Academy Award-winning Brie Larson.
Academy Award-winning Brie Larson.
I think she won an Academy Award, right?
Yes, she did, yeah. There was nothing to draw me into the human side of things other than John C. Reilly.
Okay,
The
right.
script was just meh.
I'm in a similar place. They had all these cool characters and these really big A-listers. Like, it's bigger than this movie probably should have had. And some of them sort of fell flat. Tom Hiddleston, great actor, as we know, used very minimally. He's like there to pretty much pull them forward on the island. Brie Larson's there to take photos and be the token girl. And mind you, they never used her as a token girl as like, I'm gonna fall in love with one of the crew members. Like, no, they didn't go that right. She was pretty strong and she had
She
play
did some
a gun.
cool shit.
She had a gun at one point. The side characters didn't give a crap about. Like, there's characters that like. There's one guy that, as an example, sacrifices himself for the group of the squad. And he's like, keep on walking, guys.
And they're like, no.
He's like, no. And I'm like, who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Like, why is this important?
Why should I care? There's another one as well. The soldier left on his own. They find his little
Like,
diary.
we have to go get Chapman. I'm like,
Chapman.
who the hell is Chapman?
Yeah.
Why is he so important?
Oh, he's alone. Oh, okay. And then he's got the note to his son on the tree, and they're like crying. I'm like,
the best.
I don't care.
Yeah. And then Samuel L. Jackson hammed it up. Like, he was...
Bitch, please.
Like, his performance was... Like, it was Samuel L. Jackson, but, like, I felt his character and what he brought to the movie really stopped it in its tracks a lot. If you took out him and his little platoon of dudes from the film, it wouldn't have changed the end of the movie.
Wouldn't have changed anything.
It would have literally just made it shorter, and it would have been great.
They were all there for that one plot point towards the end. Other than
They
that,
were all there because we need one cool shot of something. And John C. Reilly was great.
He was.
He's
There
awesome.
were a lot of characters, and they broke off into different groups. But yeah, Tom Hiddleston was like the tracker. He was like just Bear Grylls, but less interesting.
But I'm going to put it out there.
Yeah, less drinking.
God, he looked like Nathan Drake a little bit. Like obviously with the...
Is that why they chose the blue t-shirt?
Yeah, like you can tell, like, there's clearly influence, and every time I say Uncharted, I guess I made my own movie, because they went Uncharted. They didn't look at the camera, but I'm like, look at the camera? Oh, damn.
Well, think about
I
it.
want to just drop the Uncharted bomb.
Well, think about that, because he's wearing the blue t-shirt, which Nathan Drake wears. Brie Larson's character at the start has a button-up red blouse, like Elena has, and Sully's always in a suit or a polo shirt, and that's exactly what John Goodman was wearing.
If I saw a movie with Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, John Goodman, or even John C. Reilly, if you interchange him, it's fine, and make an Uncharted movie... Oh my god, take my money.
Well, Elena's also like a photographer or videographer.
100%! It's like the whole role in the first game.
Yeah.
And Sully's the one that organises all the trips, and Drake's the one that gets it fucking done.
This isn't spoilers, because it's, this whole based in sort of mythical, situation. Just like Uncharted, starts pretty serious, gets really supernatural in the end, and mythical in the end.
That is true, they always do.
This is Uncharted Skull Island.
So yeah, Tom Hiddleston was pretty bland, really.
Yeah.
And he wasn't really the main character.
Yeah.
And then Brie Larson
there
was
wasn't
a
a
little
main.
bit
Sorry,
better.
there wasn't a main character.
Kong, I guess.
Well, because it did the
Maybe
whole
he disappeared for a while.
did the whole Phantom Menace thing. It's like, who's the actual main character of this movie?
Yeah, exactly. So you had those two on a boring adventure, and then you had Samuel L. Jackson and his army crew. He was like the lieutenant, and again, like you were saying, there was the two soldiers. So the black sassy guy who was just like, you get a bed? You get a bed? Like, that isn't even a joke. Why do you sleep a bed? Okay. And then there was the guy from Boardwalk Empire, the one that did the thing. And their back and forth was nonsensical dialogue. The talking about the thorn and the mouse and the lion. It's just like, huh? Take all that out. John Goodman looked very gaunt and old
is so
and tired.
thin.
He looked like tired as hell. John C. Reilly, incredible. Just anything he says where he's just like, what does he say?
My favorite.
It sounds like birds, but it's fucking ants. It's just the best. Like people laugh.
We did it for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, because it just rings like fucking ants, and then there's like a minute of silence of them going.
Well,
And then it's silence in this.
It was the only F-bomb in the movie, I think.
Yeah. I'm gonna end its PG rating with that F-bomb.
But the big main character, of course, is Kong himself.
Yeah.
And like in Godzilla, they tried to build up Godzilla as this hero. And have you seen the Godzilla?
Yeah.
Lion
I
King?
actually haven't.
Okay, well,
I own it, but I'm still yet to watch it.
They built the Ken Watanabe from like Ra's al Ghul from Batman Begins. He's like a scientist. He's this hero that comes and saves the day when they're needed. And just random dinosaur with no personality turns up and roars. And he's like, they will let them fight. And then they fight. And then he goes away into the water and he's like, goodbye, Godzilla.
I don't have to the movie anymore.
Oh, you should. In this one, though, they build up Kong to be a hero. Like, he isn't just a monster. He's the protector
god
of
of
the
this
island.
island.
It's the world.
And not only they
hinted,
worship him,
the world. they
yeah,
hinted.
he saves the people on certain times. He like keeps the ecosystem balanced by destroying these creatures that come out of the ground, which
'Cause
for
the
some
Earth is-
reason,
Earth is
Which is like, as this is not really spoilers, but they sort of talk about this is where the creatures can come from. There's the hollow earth theory. There's a hole in the ground. That's where the creatures come from. And it's like the laziest ride. It's like, where'd it come from? Over there, the hole in the ground.
there's a hole. Why? Because we don't know what's down the hole. But I don't know about
Are you
science.
gonna go in the hole?
No, I'm not going in.
One of us here has degrees in science. I'm just saying, is science really dropping bombs on things?
No.
Geographical things.
So they're
I don't think
testing the
that's not the
geographical
kind of
ground.
science.
to see
Yeah,
what's
I
underneath.
did a very different science to that.
You didn't do bombing ground?
No, I did
Bombing
growing.
exotic, mysterious island?
It is because what
I grew
the,
plants.
the bombs send out the shock waves and how
Yeah.
how the
And then they
sound
looked at Tetris.
echoes and bounces.
Yeah.
It gives a underground layer.
Approximation of how thick
Which
the crust
looks
is.
like a forward version of Tetris.
Yeah. that's
No,
what I say.
it's actually super hypercube on PlayStation
Oh,
VR. Yeah.
really?
I mean, I'm getting something to do with
advanced.
reverberations and echoes through the ground and stuff.
But yeah, like you were saying, everything else was kind of just a bit of filler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily bad.
It's like
just
that's-
nobody was really interesting.
Yeah,
or
that's
anything
fluff
exciting.
until Kong can come punch something.
Yeah, and so should we go full spoilers and just talk about Kong?
Do you want to
Kong?
Spong?
Super Kong? Kong going crazy?
Look,
Donkey Kong.
So we can do final thoughts before we go, and we'll. Because as I said, I think I pretty much said everything I wanted to say about it in the opening credits. Like it literally is opening thoughts. Sorry, and it's literally here's a series of shots that's fluffed some crap in between it, but those shots were actually pretty cool.
Josh?
Oh, it was a good movie. It was good. Like
we're just picking it apart, but
we're picking it apart. But it was a good movie. You know, go in with no expectations. You expect to see some really cool CGI, some really cool fights, and you'll leave happy.
If you want to see a monster movie and there's a giant gorilla in it, you're not going to get like an Oscar-worthy movie. It's kind of like you're seeing him beat crap up, and he did. And the thing that I really liked is that you got the scale perfectly. Every time they kind of showed fights or Kong, it was from the people's perspective. So like there's camera splashing, water splashing on the cameras. The start, I mean, again, I can't go into too much spoilers, but just the scale of him and being on the ground level, seeing it all as if you're really there, not just like watching a wide shot of two people fight in the background, was amazing. I thought it was great.
Rating out of 5?
4.
3.
Yeah, I guess.